Ottawa sure didn't put up with the Panthers' crap last night. No, sir. Feels like forever since our Bruins showed some spine like that. The other night, we got pumped for 7 by the friggin' Rangers, and only 2 hits the whole game. Where do we go from here? I don't know. But I smell another early summer on the Cape, and I don't like it. Not one bit.
The sense of disappointment, that feeling is palpable.
This is the story of the Boston Bruins, a dominant franchise with a still dissatisfied fan base.
Getting pushed around like a market basket carriage out there.
These are things some Bruins fans are actually saying, inspired by internet fan takes.
These guys are wicked soft. Softer than last year.
Obviously, it sounds funny and senseless from the outside looking in, but there's a story here. By the record, the Bruins can only be described as dominant. A team that, despite having won more than 80 games since 2022,
I win again.
And despite having lost less than 20 as of this recording,
I never lose.
Has left some Bruins fans feeling hollow.
It ain't about the regular season, don't you get it?
Some believe the team is soft, lacking identity, lacking toughness.
Lacking alpha males.
The Panthers have done it!
Frickin' Panthers.
After being eliminated by the eventual Eastern Conference champions, the Florida Panthers, in the 2023 playoffs, the Bruins faithful believe the team has gotten even softer. During the summer of 2023, they lost Tyler Bertuzzi, Dmitry Orlov, Nick Foligno, Taylor Hall, and more.
When is Sweeney gonna hit one out of the park with one of these free agent signings?
Then the return of Milan Lucic was celebrated like an early Christmas gift, but he only played 3.5 games before an injury was followed by his sudden arrest. He was supposed to be that allegedly missing tough guy persona.
A tough guy? A tough guy, huh?
Instead, that tough guy role he left behind is vacant and unfilled.
Giveaway back!
The whole world knows we got pushed around by the Panthers. Oh God, I still remember like it was yesterday.
If it's any comfort, only 22% of President's Trophy winners end up winning the Stanley Cup. And since the 04-05 lockout, only 2 of those winners have won it all. The bottom line is, winning the Stanley Cup is unlikely for any team. But in Boston, you get the sense the general manager, Don Sweeney's tenure, even with almost 400 wins, is a failure. Make it make sense.
Again, regular season, bud.
So the question now is, do Bruins fans have a point on this? After all, there are those players who are just built for regular season hockey, who tend to struggle when the referees stop calling penalties in the postseason. Then again, the Bruins have lived by that physical identity before, only to lose in the playoffs anyway.
Am I not enough for you, Jack?
Other Bruins fans won't use the word soft, but there is a belief the team is trapped in this unbalanced state. They lost Patrice Bergeron, they lost David Krejci, so the team needed to spend its limited cap space to replace the lost offensive production. It's probably why they opted for players like James Van Riemsdyk. Really, is there anything that could have been done without taking a spot from an offensive dynamo?
We need a recce, a savant. Guys who play hard, trash talk, crash the net, and backcheck. Give me the clicker, I can't watch anymore. My eyes are bleeding.
I get the sense this fan base doesn't trust the front office. No matter that they're sitting atop the division, they're still daydreaming about those bullying teams from yesteryear. Is that crazy? Or is there a grain of truth in all the emotion? After 2019 and 2023,
pretty much scrambling to get away from the Garden,
they could be bracing for another disappointment, like a defense mechanism. In baseball, the 1990s Atlanta Braves won 925 regular season games in the decade, but came away with only 1 World Series to show for it. Some reflect on that time period as one big failure. If the Bruins don't land a Stanley Cup after all this dominance,
well, they ain't sniffing Lord Stanley's farts with the team they're icing now.
They may face the same fate themselves. And so, my concluding question, if you're a Bruins fan, how pervasive are these thoughts among Bruins fans you know? Is it common or a vocal minority? And to all NHL fans, I'd love to hear your opinion, not just on the Bruins, but the necessity of balance on an NHL roster. Do you still think physical stalwarts are necessary to climb the mountain, or is finesse enough? This is Charlie for NHL Goal Zone. I'll catch you next time.